I don't know about you, but I have learned so much from this show today. Learning about my own personality traits and how I look at or handle issues is really important in relationships. And that includes my work partnerships as well. So fellow New Day team members, Rebecca and Joseph Suttner, are here to talk to me about it. Hello, you two.
Hello.
Good morning.
Now, Bex, you were the one who really pushed for this personality special. What was it that interested you so much?
So I came across the Myers-Briggs system in college. I was taking a organizational leadership class, and so I took like the whole really involved test. It had like the little bubbles that you color in.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I mean, it's like something you have to pay for in college. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was kind of my introduction to it, but I really kind of got back into it in the early days of the pandemic because I had time where I wasn't doing anything really, you know, just to kind of sit and be reflective. And I was going through this period of time where I'm like, I kind of was thinking about maybe making a change. There were some things that weren't working for me, and so I just wanted to kind of figure out like, why are these things not working for me? Is there something wrong with me, or should I just maybe be doing something different?
I love that self-reflection. So
Yeah.
what is your personality type?
So I am an ENFJ, extroverted, intuitive, feeler, judger. And I don't want to brag, but this is the same as Oprah and Barack Obama.
Okay.
So, I mean,
All right. Okay. Well, I am an ESFP, which is an extroverted,
sensing, feeling, perceiving person.
Yeah. And Joseph?
I'm the ESTJ, that is the executive, which might not surprise you because I am the executive producer of New Day Northwest. So I think this is pretty fitting for me.
Yes.
Mine is the entertainer. I mean, shocking. But I think that's where it was all so interesting and kind of scary accurate. So was there anything that surprised either of you when it came to learning about your personality, or was there a specific process that either of you were drawn to?
Well, I was surprised when I was reading through what it all said about the ESTJ, how accurate it was. You know, you're very into rules. Everyone knows I'm like the biggest rule follower of all time. You like tradition, you like things to stay the same, which can be good and bad. So that was, you know, something interesting for me to think about. But I was talking to Rebecca because she's really into this more than I am, which I love. But further down, there's like a tertiary aspect of it that I was reading about, that you're an extroverted intuition, which means you are into novel things also, even though that conflicts with the tradition, but you know, it helps you do new things, like I'll try new things on New Day, you know, stuff like that.
Yes. Bex?
What I love about Joseph is his personality is very structured. And so he's always like, not just the rules, but we need to do this then, and this, and this, and this. And that helps me because I'm not quite, I am a J, I do like structure, but I lean a little bit more on my intuitive. So I don't necessarily need everything to be in place. I like an idea of where we're going to go, but then my intuition just kind of helps fill in those blanks. So that's kind of how
I'm loving this conversation because, listen, y'all, we have a pretty small team, about 8 of us. And knowing each other's personality traits really, in my opinion, it helps us work better. I mean, when I first joined on, there was one colleague that we butted heads a little bit until I figured out, okay, this is just who this person is. And now I don't get as offended about things that are said because I realize it's not, I don't need to take this personally. This is who that person is, and I'm who this person is. So I think it's interesting. And when you said Joseph, he is a rule follower. You know, someone like Susie is not
a rule follower.
So together we create this beautiful blend that makes the show what it is. I mean, I hope y'all agree out there. We really work hard on making it layered.
It also shows up in the types of stories that we do, I think, too, like that we produce. So Joseph and Susie are really big on their S, their sensing. They love the cooking. They love the demos. I'm in my N, so I'm a little bit more into this type of content, like the thinking about things and exploring. I love like when there's something in the news, like let's go a little bit deeper into that. Let's talk about that. Amity, with you, like I've known you for years, and I've known that you're a P for years, and it's, you know, you laughed about it during this segment, but you are someone who is really good at kind of just pulling things out of your hat, and so, but that is really like, that's an impressive. I kind of wish that I could do that more, like that I could leave a little bit more of that stuff up to chance. But with you, it's great for what you do because you have to just sort of like vamp every once in a while. And even with interviews, like you can just kind of figure out where to go just like that. So
it is interesting. And actually, when we were talking about this earlier, it made me think about how important this is to give to younger adults.
Yeah.
Because I think had I known, I would have been like, absolutely, this is the right career path for me, because there were many times, I'll tell you, out there with the live truck, I wondered. No, I mean, but I think this is something that would be really good to help focus that career and go, okay, what is in me that's a strength? And then, because I have also been to career counselors before, and they have you fill stuff out, but I don't feel like it really gets to what is really going to make me happy. And I knew that was going to be out in the field, learning things, meeting new people, having fun, and that has been a very great thing for me.
I took this test when I was in college, so I knew.
Oh, you did? Okay,
then.
so that's what I'm thinking.
And so, you know, maybe in the back of my mind, that did help me think about, like, oh, striving to be in a leadership position. You know, if you're kind of suited for this, you see how things work, and you think you can manage that well. You know, that is also helpful. So, you know, I agree with you totally.
Yeah, I think that would be an interesting focal point.
I think for me, the number one thing out of all of this is there are things about me that I know aren't quite the norm, but it's okay. Like, it gives me permission. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. This is just the way that I am, and I have gifts to share that are a little bit different.
That's actually, not to interrupt, but that is, which I just did, is actually one of the things I love best about that you have said during this whole process of putting this show together. It gives me permission to be myself. Yeah. And that has stuck with me through all of this. Certainly. And I love that too. And the love languages thing, that aspect was interesting.
Yeah, how the love languages ties into what, you know, acts of service for me is part of this also. It's really interesting when you look at each of the things, you look at the zodiac, it all kind of ties together and does really help you better understand yourself, which in turn helps you get along with other people in your life.
Amen. Because like when you just said acts of service, I'm like filing that away real quick. Bex, what's your love language?
My love language is quality time.
Oh, well, I love that. And I am grateful for your quality time today, to two of you.